Thank you for joining us again on the newsroom. At least 5 people have died, with 2 others injured in a fire incident in Mobi town in the northern part of Adamawa State. Eyewitnesses said the fire started at a filling station in the early hours of Wednesday when the fuel was being transferred from a petrol tanker directly into hundreds of jerrycans. More than 50 tricycles parked around the filling station were also said to have been destroyed in the fire. Mobi, which is a commercial border town, is a smuggling hub, with smugglers ferrying jerrycans of petrol overnight into Cameroon. The All Progressives Congress APC says it is in support of constitutionally permitted innovations that will lead to a more transparent and credible electoral process in the country. Reacting to the recent approval by the Senate that all political parties must use the direct primary mode in picking candidates, the National Secretary of the APC Caretaker Committee, John Akpanudo Edehe, in a statement issued on Wednesday, described the 9th Assembly as multi-partisan and commended them for what he called their patriotic disposition. Akpanudo Edehe said with the move, valid votes will now count, and past practices of electoral fraud inflicted on Nigerians are fast becoming a thing of the past. Osun State Governor Gboyega Oyetola has signed the Violence Against Persons Prohibition Bill into law with assurance of its full enforcement. The government hopes to use the law to curb violence in private and public life, prohibit all forms of violence against persons, and to provide maximum protection for victims and punishments of offenders. While assenting to the bill, Oyetola assured that it would further strengthen the fundamental right to life and ensure adequate protection of lives and property of all citizens in Osun State. Brazil's far-right president Jair Bolsonaro says he does not want to be bored with questions about the country's coronavirus death toll, just days after Brazil became the second country in the world to surpass 600,000 fatalities. For months, the president has rejected calls to impose restrictions such as lockdowns to stem the spread of the virus, while public health officials have slammed his government for failing to quickly secure COVID-19 vaccines. Thousands have taken to the streets to demand Bolsonaro's impeachment over the pandemic, as well as corruption allegations, but he has remained defiant and continues to reject public health measures. The executive chairman of the Federal Inland Revenue Service, FIRS, Mohammed Sani, says the agency generated revenues worth 4.2 trillion naira in the first 9 months of this year. He noted that due to the perennial windfall in the oil sector for a long time, tax sources including stamp duty were ignored, adding that tax body has now further embarked on unbundling of its tax administration process. In January, the Senate approved an upward review of the revenue target for the FIRS from 5 trillion naira in 2020 to 7.6 trillion naira in 2021. The European Commission has announced a package of measures to alleviate an energy price surge that has sent bills skyrocketing across Europe. Energy prices have hit record highs for various reasons, including high demand for natural gas as economies recover from the COVID-19 pandemic. The Commission's energy chief, Kadri Simpson, has however urged EU countries to consider emergency income support for vulnerable households, state aid for companies, and targeted tax reductions. She also advised member states to temporarily pause bill payments where necessary and put in place safeguards to avoid disconnections from the grid. And in sports, FIFA President Gianni Infantino has suggested Israel to co-host the 2030 World Cup along with other regional states. And this was announced by the office of Israeli Prime Minister Naftali Bennett following a meeting on Tuesday. The World Cup tournament scheduled for 2030 is also desired by South America, who could bid with Uruguay, Argentina, Paraguay and Chile. Meanwhile, FIFA is considering the feasibility of hosting the World Cup every 2 years from 2028, but this has met with opposition from various bodies within the game. And that's it on the newsroom at this time. Thank you for watching. I am Oyi Adekunle.